It's a bit of an overcast day today. It's the 29th of May 2020. So the Gold Coast is one of the areas that I really do like, and when we were younger, we came up here a few times. My father had a timeshare accommodation, or my auntie, somebody had it. So I'm on the hunt for some breakfast. So it's just 11 o'clock now. Oh, actually, I was there at 10:28, I think it was. So 10:30 I was there, and I've now driven, I don't know, 5 minutes, and we're now in the Gold Coast. So this is not typically what a locksmith will do every day, but because I work for myself and I don't have any other jobs that are booked in until this afternoon, I might as well come down. I'm already here anyhow, so I might as well drive through the Gold Coast and have a look, and we're going to look for some food, so for some breakfast. One of my favourite spots is off to the left, and we're just going past Australia Fair. So Australia Fair used to be one of the biggest shopping centres, and you can see how tall it is, how high it is. And we've got put the boat in over there, and you can go out to the head, and SeaWorld is over there. We'll go across a bridge in a couple of traffic lights time. Put the fishing rod in over there, not today, but done that before. So the good thing about living in Brisbane is that where I'm located is 30 minutes to the Gold Coast along one freeway, or 30 minutes into the city, again in the opposite direction of the same freeway. So this is the one thing that I really like the most, is that you do have an opportunity to do a job and take a bit of time out for yourself afterwards. So I made keys to that Ford Escape ZB, and I charged him $290 all up, and I actually programmed in an extra transponder and gave him an extra key, just because the transponder doesn't cost that much, and I'm already programming one in. He only wanted one key and a remote, but I thought, you know what, if this guy loses it, and it doesn't cost me too much. Some keys you can do that for, like some cars you can do that for, and give them an extra key, and there's no big deal. Like on that particular, because it's one of the most common keys that's used in America, it doesn't cost that much for the key. Like the transponder, probably about landed and USD converted to Australian, probably about $7. So probably looking at about $10 just for the key and the transponder. And I thought, well, he seemed like a really nice guy. Just not a rat bag. So I thought, you know what, he probably can only afford, and in the Gold Coast, you could probably only afford the $290, and there's no point charging him an extra. It's best just to, if you can, give him an extra key, give the customer an extra key. If it's not too much skin off your nose, might as well. I know people turn around and they'd say, well, if he loses that key, he's got another key, and then you miss out on another job. But that's not really the right way, and it's not really the most kind of, I don't know whether it's ethics or, like you got to help people out, I reckon. So this is where they do the racing cars. I think once a year they line up the racing cars and go round and round. Not really interested in in races and all that. So a lot of these buildings here have been here for a long time, and they're generally the low rise. So just over there's a couple of low rises, and you can see one there, Seacrest, and you can see that, you know, that could even be early 60s, you know, or I'd say early 60s. There are some around here that's still from the 50s, but there's a lot of new buildings that have popped up, and I could honestly say in the last 25 years, I haven't been up here, you know, all this time, but I remember coming up here when I first got my driver's license. The girlfriend and we came up here and stayed up here, which was really nice, and it has grown a lot. It really has. All of these tall buildings, they weren't here. So from the 80s, I think it would have been about 80, 88, you know, 87, like that, when my family came up here for holidays, I think for the first time. They've knocked down one of the motels that were over there, and that one over there is the Holiday Inn, but it changes its name, and brother and I stayed in that one, and had the little Vegemites there and the missus there, and that was cool. And they've now put a tram in the main guts, and there's the Wax Museum. Now that used to be located elsewhere. It's been here for a while. I haven't gone in there since we were kids, and I remember going in there, and it was actually scary. Oh look, there's people abseiling from the top there, obviously cleaning windows or doing something. Don't understand why they'd be abseiling from there, because it looks to me like all of the apartments do have a balcony. That's strange. Yeah, that's a job I wouldn't do. I know it's safe, you know, as long as you know, the rope doesn't break, which I'm sure that it's well and truly overrated. And you can see right up the top they put some kind of cloth before they go over the concrete there. So the Gold Coast has been growing for a while. Let's take a left here, and let's just go and have a look. So today's Friday. So Friday, we'll probably be able to get some kind of parking. There's the tram line, and my auntie she bought a unit in this building right here, and she had that for a while, and I only knew that about a couple of years ago, when my father came up here to visit. Oh look, we can get some food from there. All we've got to do is now find some parking. So this is the beach, and the Gold Coast, the main beach here is fairly long, and it goes right down to the New South Wales border. I hope I can turn. I don't know if I can actually turn right, because the lanes it's not marked. So I better just go backwards, and we'll just go on the other one. I don't know if you can, but we just did that. And it's really nice. Like, they've got toilets, they've got you know, they've got little showers that you can wash your sand off your feet, and, you know, wash the little kids, and, you know, just get that salt off you. So if we can find a parking spot, I'll stop here. So in my opinion, this is one of the better spots, like in terms of you've got people around, you got a nice beach, you got something to eat, you got accommodation, there's nightclubs all down there, entertainment, all kinds of stuff here in the Gold Coast. So this is, in my opinion, this is probably one of the better spots to be in Australia. The temperature is nice here too. In summertime you can get sunburnt, so you do need to put some sunscreen on. There's a lot of travellers that come to the Gold Coast, a lot of tourists. So the Gold Coast just keeps going and going like this, so I'll just cut this video short. And I need to find something to eat right now because I'm starving. I had no breakfast. I've had a coffee and I've had a mother, and there's a pedestrian. There's a lot of hotties around here too. That's the other thing. So I've got parking here, but I really don't feel like walking all that way. So I'm hoping that I might be able to spot something to eat and get some parking. There's a pizza place. Definitely don't feel like pizza this early in the morning. So that's the new tram line that's gone in. It's, I don't know, it's a couple of years old now. I don't know whether that was well worth it or not. I don't know. Haven't been on it yet. Maybe that's something I should do. Yeah, there's some food. Curry in a hurry. I don't feel like having that go through me. Oh, there's another hotel that my brother and Mrs. and Vegemite stayed in. That one doesn't have any balconies, but it had a nice pool, nice spa. Let's go down this road. I reckon I might have half a chance here. Sushi, maybe. Oh, it's metered parking too. Well, I might just call it a day. Actually, I think this is where the big building is. Is it? Yes, it is. So this building here, you can go right up the very top and it's got an awesome view. And there's a coffee shop. So parking from, see in DC, they got signs on top of signs and it's really, really, really hard. And I think this one here, I think you got to use the app on your phone or something like that and pay by credit card, or I don't know. I don't see any parking meters. So where would you pay for parking? How would you pay for parking? That's strange. So we might just, I'll turn the van off, grab the old wallet. Oh, actually I should have my key card and my phone. That will do. Probably end up getting booked. You know, in North Sydney they've got sensors in the ground that got my card, that actually know if you've parked somewhere, and then the parking police, if it's not been paid for on the meter, they come around, they book you, and they can do it just by driving around now. So that's that huge building. I think it's a motel and it's got some retail shops and all that kind of stuff. So that's a Ford Escape just there. That's exactly what I just made keys to. And what have we got here? A restaurant. Ah, this is Sushi Chain. So that's interesting. If they've got a sushi train, so I don't see any parking meters, but in the Gold Coast there's Subway. Don't really want Subway. go and have a look. Okay, so it's called the Crown International. Well, I think I'll call it a day. Can't find any food that I can just take away, and I also don't want to get a parking ticket because I don't trust them. So I know that they're also pretty savvy here in the Gold Coast about parking. So I think that's it. We'll call it a day. We'll head back home. That's enough. Get ready for another job.